Hi, my name is Dominic Kramer. I'm 16 years old, and I'd like to announce my sponsor for the 2023 season, Great Lakes Disc. So, I've been playing my whole entire life. My mom used to bring me out to our local course, Brewer Park, and I would just chuck discs. Like, I could only throw 10, 15 feet at a time, but I'd still play the whole entire hole, even if it took me 20 throws. I didn't care. I loved throwing. And my mom will tell you that story all the time because she just loves telling it, of her going out with her friends and then me just absolutely chucking frisbees. And then late 2019, we went and we played, and I shot, and I think I beat some of my parents' friends, and I was like, huh. And at that point, all I was doing was just chucking forehands, like flex forehands, and I wasn't doing very good. I didn't know how to putt. Heck, I didn't even know what a putter was at the time. I was putting with the mid-range and all that stuff. But late 2019, we played that round, and I think that's where it all changed. I really liked it, and I went home and I looked up best, like, I think it was like cool disc golf shots or something like that, and I found a video, and it was Paul McBeth and James Conrad mainly throwing, and a lot of them were at Toboggan, and I was like, wow, because that's the best I've ever seen anybody throw. I only played around my parents, and they don't play competitively, they just play with their friends because they enjoy it. And I was like, huh. And then I stumbled upon Brody Smith, who was just getting, literally his first disc golf videos were coming out, and it was with Paul, and Paul was teaching him. And while Paul was teaching him, I was also learning. I was practicing every single day, trying to get better. And then this video was around that time. Oh God. And that was when I first started being like, wow, this is really fun. Because I wasn't throwing far. That was a Zeus that I threw on that hole, and now I throw a zone there. But I could get to the hole. I started birdieing stuff, and I was like, wow, this is what I want to do. So COVID hit, and we went up north in the middle of nowhere in the woods with our camper for about 2 months, and we had about an acre, not a whole lot of room, but I made it work. I had a super old Sexton Firebird and another mid-range, and we created a little tiny, I created a little tiny 9-hole course on that acre, where I was still able to throw like full shot forehands and have to throw like tricky backhands through the woods, and it was fun, and I did that every single day. And then we came out of COVID, and we started playing a little bit more. I started, being able to practice more, and I think the day that I wanted to become a better player was we went to Old Farm Park because my mom and her boyfriend had gone there, and they really liked it, so they wanted to show me. And I remember seeing this disc golf store behind my Boost Mobile, and I was like, we should stop by there. It's only like 2 minutes away. So we stopped by there, and we stopped in, and we went in there, and I was just looking through, and I was just absolutely amazed by all the frisbees that were there. and I loved it. I think I ended up getting a like champion strike and a Big Z Buzz, which I actually still have that Big Z Buzz. And that's the day I was like, wow, this is like a real thing. This isn't just like a fun thing you do. And so I started saving up my money, and I would go there every week and spend like $200 on discs just to build up my bag. And then eventually I signed up for my first tournament. And I was like, alright, this is it. I played every single day. Actually, and on after this. There was about a 2-year span from 2019 to about 2021. I practiced every single day, maybe missing a month out of those 2 years. So I was constantly practicing. But I'll get more into that in a little bit. I played that tournament. It was the 2021. No, 20. I don't know. It was the Hastings. No, yeah, Hastings Grand Prix. And I played in the Junior 15 division. And I did not play well. At the end of the day, it was horrible. But because I was the only person in the Junior 15 division, I got cash, which I shouldn't have got cash. First round, I shot plus 23. And then I improved the next round by shooting plus 22. And ended plus 45 for that tournament. Yeah, I'm not proud of that one. But preparing for that tournament, I happened to, I think it was in the comments of a "What do you putt with" thing that Great Lake Discs had posted, and I had posted, like, commented on something, and then somebody commented on mine, and then I commented on theirs, and it was just some back and forth banter, and then I kind of looked into who this person was, and I found out they were a local pro here, and I was like, huh. And I noticed that they did disc golf lessons and such, and I didn't know anything about tournaments, so I hit them up, and I was like, hey, I'm playing my first ever tournament, I don't know a whole lot about it, do you have any advice? And he gave me some advice, and it was really cool. And then I asked if he wanted to come play around at my local course, which was St. Francis, and he was like, sure, me and a buddy will come out there. So we went out and played. I didn't shoot very good. I think I shot like plus 6 or 7. I mean, it wasn't horrible. I think they ended up shooting plus 4 or 5, and his buddy got an ace, which was really cool, on the last hole. But then, so I knew this person, and I saw him play, and I was like, wow. And I figured out he was like sponsored by a couple different companies. He was sponsored by Great Lake Discs, Disc.dot, and Crew 42. And I hit him up, and I was like, hey man, I saw you do lessons. Do you think we could do that sometime? And he was like, yeah, we can do that. So that summer I went, and I think I did 3 or 4 lessons with him. And I got a lot better. He taught me, my form was actually pretty decent by this time. I had all of the main parts of the form. I had the pull through, the hips, everything. But there was a couple things like grip that I just, unless I searched deep in for a video on that online, I just had to figure out myself. Positioning of my feet, things like that. My pull through was a little bit too high at the time. And he helped a lot. And now I am proud to to call him a friend, and that man is Mr. Clayton Hodge, who has helped me a lot through my disc golf journey. I don't think I'd be here without him, so shout out to him. But yeah, and he came up with, I had to do 100 putts a day. So that's what I did leading up to my second tournament ever, which was a juniors tournament. And this is coming into my first top 10 ever. I played in the Midwest Regional Juniors, no, I don't know, it was a juniors tournament at the Breakers. And it's a really big tournament that all the kids do each year. And I went there, I had a blast. I shot okay, but it wasn't what I thought I was going to shoot or wanted to shoot. But I tied for 10th. And he caddied for me. He brought me there, caddied for me, because I couldn't drive at the time, and my parents didn't really want to drive an hour away. And it was really cool. And so I practiced I putted 100 putts a day for that tournament, and for a while I did that afterwards. And it was really nice. That's a great tournament. And I went back there this year, actually. And then, yeah, it was a great experience. And then, actually, I'll continue going over my tournaments. So, we move on to this year's, well, the 2022 season, which I knew I wanted to play a lot more events. I think I played, I don't know, probably like 16 events or something like that. I played a lot. And not the season I hoped for. A lot of mid-20s to like 15th. It wasn't the season I wanted. I did have 2 or 3 top 10, yeah, 2 or 3 top 10s. I did not finish any of the tournaments in a top 5 position, or obviously winning, which was not my goal. That's the one goal I had not hit for my 2022 season. My goal was to get another top 10, did that. Was to win, didn't do that. Get a top 5, didn't do that. And then I wanted to make it to the Michigan Amateur State Championship, which I did. And then I wanted to get a sponsor, which I've now done. So I guess the next major tournament that has made an impact it was the Grand Rapids Dogs of Discs Summer Games. They hosted at Brewer Park, and I played the MA3 division like I did all year. Well, I played an MA2 tournament, but and what happened there was I shot, well, first round we were shooting on the reds, so the shorter, easier course, and what happened was through the whole front 9 pretty much I was being a show-off kid, which is, I think this tournament was the tournament that kind of changed my game, because the whole front 9 I was playing as essentially a Simon Lizotte. I was throwing shots I didn't need to. I was throwing spike hyzers on holes I should have just thrown flat and let a disc fade out. I was throwing putters on holes that I should have just thrown a mid. And being like, haha, look what I could do. But I think I was like even, or possibly, yeah, I think I was even through the first 10 holes. And I was like, alright, if I want to be able to do anything, I gotta start playing more seriously. So I really don't know what it was. It was a feeling that I've never felt except for one other time, which I'll talk about, on the disc golf course, where I just felt like I could do anything. Like I didn't need to think about what I was doing. I just had to do it, and it was good every time. And I birdied the next 7 out of the 8 holes to put myself in a tie, 3rd or 4th, going, yeah, it was a tie for 4th, going into the last round, which put me on lead card, which this was my first ever lead card, and it was a feeling of like, oh my god, like if I just play how I know I can play, I can actually do good. And that was a big relief. And so I went into the second round feeling pretty confident, made sure I warmed myself up properly, was feeling good, and second round, first throw, threw it 100 feet short, and like, not off the fairway, but I was right on the edge, to the point I didn't have a throw at the basket unless I did a patent pending. So I took a Brody Roach that I was throwing at the time, and I did a patent pending throw in from 100 feet for the birdie, and I was feeling so good. Then I birdied the next hole, then I parred the next hole. The guy in first had bogeyed that hole. Now I was feeling good because I threw my drive short, went to lay up to the basket, it hit a CTP flag, popped up on edge, and rolled all the way down. If anybody knows hole 9 at Brewer Park, they know the rollaways that are there. So I had about an 80-foot putt for a comeback, uphill, probably about 10 feet elevated, and I cashed it for par. I was like, oh, thank God. And that put me, I think, within one or two strokes of the lead. So this was putting me in position to win. And after that, it was just, I don't know, I think I got too confident, I guess, if that makes any sense. And I just started playing bad. And I ended the round even. So I was down 7 for the tournament. And that put me in 6th place. And the guy who won didn't even have a PDGA number. He shot really good for no reason. Guy on my card got second, I think. Second or third. No, he got first, and the guy without the PDGA number got second, I believe. And some people above me happened to already have a berth, so that berth got knocked down to me, and I just barely got the berth. I think the only reason I got it was because the other guy tied for 6th didn't show up. Like, he wasn't there to stay around, so I ended up getting it by chance, which, not how I wanted to get it, not how I wanted that tournament to go, but I got it nonetheless, and I was on my road to the Amateur Michigan State Championship, which I was feeling good about. So I practiced my butt off, had a couple more tournaments, and then Michigan State Championship comes around. So I go up north to the exact campground we stayed up at, not campground, the exact property we stayed at during COVID, and I was practicing my putts. That was my main thing. All season my putting has been probably my biggest problem. Day one, I gotta get there at 7:30 in the morning. Oh, was so happy about tee times, and then they were like, 7:30 in the morning. Not happy about that. But, nonetheless, I was playing disc golf. It was supposed to be really hot that day, so it was actually going to be better to play early in the morning while it was still a little cool, so I wasn't, like, dying. And teed off, parked it. Well, I did a video on this tournament, but first round, I did a video on the Michigan State Championship. If you want to know the full Michigan State Championship story, head down and look for that video. I'll link to that in the description. But first round, I literally don't think I missed a putt within 45 feet. And it was the best putting I've had ever. Literally, I did not miss a putt. And it was a great feeling. I shot 7 down on a course I've never played before. I played all these courses blind. And that put me in a tie for 10th, but because of how many ties there were, realistically it was 4th. Going into the second round, I thought I had a chance to win. Obviously that tournament didn't come out well. You want to know a full reason why, again, go check out the video. Yeah, it wasn't a tournament that turned out how I wanted it to be. I had a lot of chances to win this season, and I did not capitalize on them, sadly. But I played a couple local tournaments. I helped out with a couple little kid leagues, and I was in my 5th hour class, and we were supposed to be studying for exams, and I was on my phone because it was American literature class. Like, I wasn't worried about studying. And I get a text from the owner of Great Lake Discs, and he said he wanted to talk to me about being on the 2023 team. And I don't think I've ever been so excited for anything in my whole entire life. I literally was lightheaded the rest of the day. I thought I was about to faint in that hour, because all this work I'd put in for the last 2.5 years, pretty much, was finally paying off. All the work I've done, all the volunteering I've done, everything to get to the point where someday I will be able to make a living off disc golf, it's finally starting to come true. While I still have to, I'm not going to be able to quit my job off this sponsorship, but it's opening the door for more opportunities for me, and I am so thankful to that. So for the whole Great Lake Discs crew there, thank you so much. You guys don't know how much it's helped me and how much disc golf has helped me as a person. Ever since I was a really little kid, like as soon as probably 5th grade, I don't want to throw around the word of I had depression, but I might have. It was a thing where I was like always sad. I was even suicidal at times. And once I picked up disc golf, it was this way to escape from that world that made me such a sad person. And it was just, I don't know, it was great. It was a way for me to escape from everything, and it helped me through, and possibly is the reason I'm still here today. So with the opportunity to get to play more of it, is absolutely amazing to me, and I'm so thankful for the whole disc golf community that has helped me throughout the years. So I hope you guys watch out for me this year. I will definitely be a competitor, and putting in the work, putting in the effort to be the best player I can. So thank you guys, and watch out for the next video.